Hi, I'm Avery Morris, and today I will be talking about the future of cloning as compared to the age of discovery. So, let's imagine a world, let's say 1,000 years from now, and there you are. Well, not you exactly, but a identical copy of you, somebody who has the same look, same thought process, and same DNA as you. This can be achieved through a process called cloning, and the term cloning is a term that describes a multitude of different processes that can be used to make a genetically identical copy of practically any biological entity. Uh, Identical twins are an example of what scientists like to call natural cloning. Identical twins occur in humans and other mammals, and they occur when a fertilized egg is split into two, therefore creating two babies, and these two babies have the exact same genetic information. Single-celled organisms such as bacteria reproduce genetically identical offspring through a process called asexual reproduction, and this could be another example of natural cloning. The three types of artificial cloning are gene cloning, reproductive cloning, and therapeutic cloning. In gene cloning, genes are produced in segments of DNA, while in reproductive cloning, whole animals are produced. And as far as therapeutic cloning goes, embryonic stem cells are created, and these stem cells are used for experiments that are aimed at replacing dead or injured tissue with new tissue. Uh, Rewards: if cloning continues to flourish, we can make remarkable progress. We can use cloned animals for drug testing. While we do use animals for drug testing now, it's actually 10 times more dangerous than if we used cloned animals because these are just regular beings and we're putting innocent animals at risk for no reason whatsoever. As mentioned earlier, therapeutic cloning can replace dead or injured tissue, and this is amazing for burn victims or accident victims who just want to feel comfortable. And this is a great way for them to do that. It can also result in ways to regenerate retinal and spinal tissue. And as far as plants goes, plants that are slow to breed or just difficult to breed in general can now be produced at a faster rate thanks to cloning. Risks: unfortunately, there are fallbacks to cloning, but that's expected with any frontier that we haven't explored yet. Uh, let's just say that reproductive cloning is a very inefficient technique because almost all of the animals that are produced through this do not grow up to be healthy individuals. And researchers have been able to clone a wide variety of biological materials such as cells, genes, tissues, and entire organisms. Sheep have actually been cloned in the past, making them the largest organism to be cloned to this day. The question always revolves around human cloning, and despite all the highly publicized claims, human cloning is still fiction at this point. This is for one reason, basically. There are proteins that are essential for cell division in humans, and these are called spindle proteins. And in primate eggs, these two proteins are located very close to chromosomes, which makes cloning humans and other primates 10 times more difficult than as opposed to other mammals. Uh, if you remove the egg's nucleus to make room for the donor nucleus, it would also remove the spindle proteins, which would make cell division either harder or just impossible. And in other mammals such as rabbits, cats, and mice, these spindle proteins are actually located throughout the egg, so they won't be affected, which is why we're able to clone other mammals and not humans. So if we decided that we wanted to go through with human cloning, it would be a very big risk, and people would risk their lives doing this. Comparing it to the age of discovery, there were two main types of exchange in the age of discovery, and these were cultural and biological exchange. Now, clearly, cloning relates to the biological portion of this. Uh, During the biological exchange, new plants and animals were brought to the Americas, and if we continued to go through with cloning, we could make new types of plants and animals. And back in the day, when they received these new plants and animals, it made their lives 10 times easier because they had new food and had help working on farms with the animals. And if we went through with cloning, we could have these new animals and new plants, and for all we know, they make our lives way easier, and we just don't know it yet. And they could make our lives easier for generations and generations to come. We just have to keep moving forward with cloning, and as of now, we're actually making amazing progress with cloning. So, thank you.